Alright, over here we learn how to solve quadratic equation by the graphical method. Right, so let's just recall first on the concept of simultaneous equation. If I have two lines over here, two lines, right, I can draw on the graph grid. I can solve graphically by reading off the point of intersection and get the x coordinate of the point intersection and get x is 0.2. Likewise, I can solve algebraically and do substitution. I sub equation 1 into equation 2 such that the left side is your line 1. My right side is line 2. Okay, but we do not want to do that. Okay, we want to solve graphically. So let's take a look at next one. Okay, if I got a line and a quadratic curve. Okay, so if I solve graphically, right, I can read off the intersection. I'll get x is 0.3 or x is negative 1.8. Okay, so likewise I can solve algebraically where by substituting 1 into 2. So as sub 1 into 2, I realize my left side is the line, the straight line. My right side is the curve. So I can go and simplify, rearrange, and form a quadratic equation. Then I see the last line here. Alright, actually I can solve for the x values by quadratic formula. Okay, but so how do we go to the type of graph question? We are given this highlighted in yellow, this quadratic equation. We have to work backwards such that we work that one side is the equation of the curve. Then once we rearrange, we work backwards, we can find out the other side, or the equal sign is the equation of the line. So we are like working backwards to find the equation of the straight line, and I add on this equation of straight line and solve graphically. Okay, so over here we are going to see a question where we are given a graph of y equals x squared minus 2x minus 7. Now the question says use your graph to solve the equation x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals to 0. So if I want to solve this, what I have to do, the graphical approach, I write down the equation that I want to solve first. I write down the graph, the equation x squared minus 2x minus 7. So like just now I mentioned recall the earlier concept. One side is the curve. This is the curve. So I rearrange equals to the other side. I need to think through what do I have to add or subtract. I compare x squared the same, minus 2x the same, minus 8 to minus 7 I will have to add 1. So negative 8 plus 1 will give me negative 7. I add 1 on the other side. I get the y equals to 1. So it means that the other side of the equation is where I get y equals to 1. I want to draw. I'll draw y equals to 1. Or I can read off the y-axis, y equals to 1. Instead of drawing, I can just draw a dotted line. And I read off the x coordinate, which I get 4 and negative 2. So I get x is 4 or negative 2. So if I were to solve algebraically this quadratic equation, I will be able to factorize it and get x minus 4, x plus 2 equals to 0. And then I solve it, I also get x equals to 4 or negative 2. But I will not want to do this because the question says use your graph to solve this equation. So once we do an algebraic approach, we are not following the condition of the question, which is to use your graph. Now secondly, the next part of the question, they can also say the equation x squared minus 3x minus 4 equals 0 can be solved by drawing a suitable straight line. So we do the same step for the graphical approach. we start off with the x squared minus 3x minus 4 equals to 0. So I have to write down the equation of the curve x squared minus 2x minus 7 on the left side. So I know this left side is my equation of the curve. I compare again. X squared is same. Negative 3x to negative 2x. I will have to add x. So I add x on the other side. For negative 4 and negative 7, I have to subtract 3. And subtract 3 on the other side. So it means I need to draw y equals to x minus 3. Because this is the other side, this is the straight line. So I know my first answer to part A is y equals to x minus 3. So for part B, by drawing this straight line, solve the equation. So what I have to do now is to set up the table of values, x, y values. Which x coordinates to decide on? I can just choose like x is negative 2, x 0, and x is 2. The grid there where I can see the x coordinates. So negative 2, 0 and 2, I sub in x negative 2, I get negative 5, x sub in x 0, negative 3, so x is 2, I get negative 1. So I plot these points, negative 2, negative 5, 0, negative 3, and 2, negative 1. Then I take the ruler, right? Okay, then I draw the straight line. Okay, I draw the straight line. So when I draw the straight line, okay, I can read off the intersection. I get over here, x is 4 or x is negative 1. So what is the algebraic approach? Again, I will not want to do this. So I see this equation, but I can factorize it, x minus 4, x plus 1 equals to 0. And I solve it, I get the same answers as the graphical approach. But I will not want to do this. Why? Because the question says, by drawing this straight line. Or they could say, use your graph to solve the equation x squared minus 3x minus 4. Okay, so that's how to summarize the approach. What we have been doing here, I'm given this quadratic equation to solve, right? I want to rearrange. One side, left side, is the equation on a curve without the y. Right side is the equation on a line. So I want to draw, it's either a horizontal line or if it's a diagonal line, I will set up the table x, y values, plot, draw the straight line, and then read off the x coordinates of the points of intersection of the line and the curve. So that's how we solve a quadratic equation, by working backwards to rearrange and determine the equation of a straight line. Then once we got the equation, right, we can draw it, we get the x coordinates, we will solve it graphically. Okay, that's it.